Hello and welcome back here on Likandoo TV. And today I want to talk about and review this baby right here, the Elgato Stream Deck. Because I was very lucky, I got one of those devices sent already 2 weeks ago to test it, and it will be released I think next week. And I know a lot of my stream friends considering buying it, and I just want to give my opinion on the device, if it's worth buying or not. And I also show what I am doing with the device and basically how the whole thing works. So this is the Elgato Stream Deck, and I want also to mention that I'm not paid in any way to do this video by Elgato or by any company. I basically just got a device to test it because I have a very interactive stream and it works perfectly with the use cases that I'm doing. I'm streaming right now live this video basically, so I can show you all the functionality. This right here is the Stream Deck, and it has 15 buttons, and all the buttons are completely, you can configure them with different functions, with different pictures, download them from the internet or design your own pictures however you want it. So the device itself, like the pictures will look, or the layout will look completely different for everyone on this planet. Like, you completely customize it the way you need it. For example, in the top row, I have all my scenes in OBS. Right now we are on the webcam scene. Now I can, for example, with one button press, trigger the Mario Maker scene, or I trigger my Breath of the Wild scene, or we go to my pause scene, or to my subscriber appreciation wall, or we go to my speedrunning scene, for example. And so for this, the device is already really awesome. Changing scenes, especially if you have a lot of scenes, it's very easy because you can make pictures that you easily remember, just like I did. But here on the speedrunning scene, I have more functionality programmed in. So basically, if I press this button, it's a subfolder, and here I can control my whole speedrunning layout, which you can see on the left side. So for example, right now the timer is paused. I can unpause it. Now it's running again. I can split. I could reset the run. I could undo splits, skip splits, things like this. So it's very, very easy to use, and it's very helpful in speedrunning, in my opinion. And it's just one of the many use cases that you can do with it. But let's go to the back to the webcam scene so that you can see it a little bit bigger. I also made 2 folders for Photoshop and Adobe Premiere, because while editing videos or pictures, things like this, you can easily use this thing as a hotkey machine as well. So it's not just for streamers, it's literally for everyone who is using a PC and using a lot of shortcuts. And for this, it's just amazing. The next thing that I'm using very often is the mute microphone, especially in my stream. So if I press this, of course, you didn't hear what I just said. You will never find out, but this is what the mute button does. I guess it's very obvious. The next one right here is the what the fuck memes lol. It's like my meme machine. And with this, I can just trigger little animations on my stream. So for example, I can trigger the confused John Travolta, or the facepalm scene.
Bye.
Or the aha, bye meme. All of those different things I can trigger with just one button press, basically. Let's undo all of them. Go back to the normal layout so that we are back to 0. But this is all like a lot of cool things that you can do. And of course, I could have a lot more memes or different animations, things like this. It's just a little showcase what you can do with it. In the corner, you see this white little field. It's completely white. This corner shows you, if you want to set it up like this, your live viewer count on Twitch. Right now, I'm not streaming on Twitch, so it's blank. But it always shows me how many people are watching my live stream on Twitch right now. So this is also really awesome. You can, for example, also do counters, death counters in your game, stuff like this. Like basically everything which you want to trigger with a single button press is possible, and it's amazing. So this is what I'm using for and how I set it up. But now let's talk about the pros and the cons of this device. The first thing that I noticed, let's do first the pros. The first thing that I noticed is the build quality, because I thought this thing will be very cheap built, or like because I saw in the pictures it is plastic and stuff, I didn't expect a very high build quality, but it's very heavy, It feels amazing, very well built, and the most important thing, they done really good. The buttons feel amazing. They feel like, I don't know, like little gummy bears almost. Like it's very soft, a little bit harder than gummy bears, but it just feels so amazing, and it's almost addicting to press those buttons, and they did a really good job. The display that's behind the buttons also looks very good. It's not retina in any way, like it could be way higher resolution, but for a use case, it's totally fine because it's standing on your desk, like, I don't know, 30-40 centimeters away from your face, and you won't see any pixels and stuff from this from that far away, and it's just perfect like this. So the display is awesome, the button is awesome, the build quality is awesome. This is really cool things. The next cool thing is how easy it is to set up. For this, I pull up the software right now. Let me scooch a little bit over so that you can at least see a little bit from me. But I did it like this so that you can see everything what this thing has to offer. So on the left side, you can now see the software. On the right side, you can see the Stream Deck. And you can see it's directly mirrored, like all the functionalities is mirrored. So what I can do is I can just freely drag those icons around, and as soon as I release it, bam, it's in the middle right here. Like it's instant responsive, and it changes everything on the go. For example, I could trigger websites. So I just drag in the websites thing, type in a URL that I want, whatever. Choose my picture that I want. Right now you can't see this, like a new Windows picture open, and I just select the picture, and now you already have a new button. And if I now would press this button, the website that I enter under URL would get opened with your standard browser. And it comes with a lot of different functionalities. You can trigger hotkeys, you can trigger your music, for Twitch, sub chat, you can make slow chat. As I said, you can show your viewers, you can chat with it, you can send out tweets, all that different things. And it's just very, very easy to set up. And if you want to make folders, you just drag one icon onto another basically, and then the folder gets created. So this is very, very amazing and all cool and all works perfectly. But it has some flaws, and all of those are basically software sided. One thing is that, in my opinion, there's not enough functionality for OBS, because this thing is called Stream Deck, and almost every single streamer that I know is using OBS. I would go as far and say that 90% of the streamers are using OBS. And having only 3 options for OBS, scenes, sources, and your audio basically, is a little bit too less in my opinion. But again, it's a pre-release version, and this could be easily fixed with a software update. I'm triggering my scenes, that's awesome. I'm also doing my audio, which is also awesome, but the sources actually don't work very well. And I want to show you real quick why. Sources, like scenes, is basically your whole thing, like that I showed, like Mario Maker, Breath of the Wild, things like this. And sources are the things on the scenes, like for example, your webcam. And for example, I added this new button here in the middle of the Stream Deck, and I want to now trigger my webcam with it. I select the scene, which I select here on purpose Mario Maker, and now the source, Logitech webcam. And now if I press this button, my webcam on the scene that I'm on right now will not get disabled or enabled. Why is that? That's because we are not on the Mario Maker scene right now. And that's very, very stupid in my opinion, because we first have to go here and now trigger our webcam. And that literally means that I need a webcam button for every single scene that I have. Or for my meme machine, all my memes need to be set up for every single scene. And that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And in my thing, there should be an option to make this global. And right now in the version that I'm using, there is not this option to make it global. So here it works perfectly. But if I go back to my webcam scene, I cannot trigger my webcam. And of course, if I disable my webcam, I want that the webcam is disabled on every single scene. But again, in my opinion, if we give Elgato this feedback, they are very likely to fix it, basically. So let me go over here again so that you actually can see me. So this is basically a quick show of the software, and it works all very nice, and it has its little flaws here and there. And the next flaw, in my opinion, or the next thing which I don't like, is that it's only for Windows 10 and for Mac OS 10, 11 or higher, I think. and especially the Windows thing. So if you have Windows 7 or Windows 8, you can't use this device currently. Maybe they add drivers for those operating systems as well. But for myself, I had to switch from Windows 7 to Windows 10 to use this device. I was very mad in the beginning about it. Now I'm incredibly happy because actually Windows 10 is way better than Windows 7. But still, if you don't want to switch to Windows 10, you might have a problem. I'm not sure if you can hack it in any way or if you can make it that it works or if they release it like that. But currently, only Windows 10 possible, and macOS, but again, not many streamers are using macOS because most of the streamers are gamers and they mostly use Windows. So those are the points which I don't like as much. All the other things are very well done in my opinion, and it's an awesome device. And now to the conclusion. Is this thing worth the money? And here comes the kicker. This thing costs $150, and basically everywhere where I read comments, people were like, oh, it's so expensive, it's so expensive. And I think that's just so stupid to write in a comment, this device is, like, it's the same like if you write, oh, this iPhone is so expensive, or this Samsung phone is so expensive, or this Android phone is so expensive. It always depends what you're doing with it. Like, you first have to test it and see what you're doing with it. If you just trigger 2 different scenes with it and you have 2 buttons, of course it's way too expensive, because that you can also do with your keyboard. But if you have a very interactive stream, or if you're a video editor and you just use a lot of hotkeys and you want to make it easier, this thing might be actually even worth money because you're working with it. So for me personally, this thing is easily worth the $150. But again, it depends how you're using it. The more you're using it, the more functionality you do with it, the more it gets worth the money. If you have a very, very simple stream, let's say you're one of those streamers, and that's nothing negative, like, that's even awesome. If you just have a stream where you show your gameplay, nothing different, and you just have like one scene where you show your gameplay, you just play Counter-Strike, for example, and you don't trigger anything, then it's fine, then you don't need that thing. Or if you just have 2 different scenes to switch around. But if you have like right now, I have, I think, 9 different scenes in OBS. Some of them I trigger already with that because I use them very often. And more things are coming, and more interactive things in my stream are coming. And that's why for me, this thing is 100% worth it. And I'm very, very glad that I got it to test it. And if I wouldn't have it already, I would definitely buy it. And if you want to step up your stream game to another level, I just can recommend it. And it just works very, very well. This is it for the review. If you want to buy this thing, I added the Amazon links for Amazon US and Amazon Germany down below. If you buy this thing with those links, I will get a little share of it. Like, it doesn't get any more expensive for it. It helps my channel. If you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. You can also just buy it normally on Amazon, but it also doesn't hurt anybody, and I would appreciate it a lot, of course. So you find the links to this device down below in the description. Again, this video is not paid by anyone. This is just like an honest review from a streamer, how I'm using it and what I'm doing it with it. To this video, as I said, there will be a tutorial series following how I made the meme machine, how you set this thing up with Photoshop, all those different things. I will explain in an extra tutorial series where I do like 10 different videos where I show all of this. And if you want to see that, subscribe to the YouTube channel right here so that you don't miss out on it. And if you want to see this thing live in action on a live stream, then go to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Likandoo. Also, the link is down in the description. And give me a follow there, and then you will see it next time live in action when I'm streaming live. And then you can also ask questions and see how it works in an actual live stream. And you can see the people reacting to the memes that I'm triggering. Because, of course, right now it was just a video, and I can show you a lot of things. But it's a really cool thing to have in your stream.
Bye.